Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 2, Episode 9. This is the penultimate episode of the season. This is, of course, where all sorts of big stuff typically happens for every premium cable show off the map. So what does the show do? Introduce Sam, a character we knew pretty much nothing about going into this.
Also, the streets need a body, and we had a couple of people drop in this episode.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. But of course, before we dive into the death, the aftermath of the deaths, am I ever going to be able to say that word properly? I had a speech impediment when I was a kid. I'm still working through that. All right, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We don't want you guys to miss anything else coming up. If you're new to the channel, I am Matt. This is Jess. We are here breaking down Power, all of its variations after every single episode.
As well as House of the Dragon. So if you're watching that, we're also watching that. American Horror Story, Season 11, that's coming up. We're going to be covering that as well. So hit that subscribe button. Follow us over on Instagram, Matt and Jess TV.
Okay, so since you already mentioned the streets need a body, let's just throw out a big old RIP for the get-go here for Cartier, because, out of all the ways that you're gonna die, getting shot multiple times in an elevator, not one of the best. You made a giant mess. You didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I will say though that it was good to see Lulu working with, Raq again. He's been kind of doing his own thing all season, where it's kind of like the show's over here and then Lulu's on an island by himself doing music stuff. And there hasn't been as much connection as there was in the first season. So to see that elevator door open and Cartier looking out and then seeing that it's not just Raq, but it's also Lulu standing right beside her, I was like, okay, all right. It took till the end of the season to get here, but these two are, I know he even made the comment where it's like, you two don't even like each other. It's like, okay, but yeah, they are family. Yeah. And, he is there with her.
Yeah, there's two really important things that are going on here. One of them, like you just said, their family. I think this is a reminder that at the end of the day, Lulu is going to be there for his sister. They are going to work together.
Yeah, and I don't think he doesn't like her. I think Cartier's way off on that.
Yeah, Cartier's just kind of a delusional character in some ways, where I think he thought his money and power would be enough for everything. And I think the other factor at play here is that Cartier's desire to take over everything, to micromanage Lulu's studio, it made him all the more incentivized to go ahead and go through with this. He might have done it anyway, just because, Raq needed that. Cartier's trying to buy his way into her business, which, she's never going to allow.
No, Lulu had his own stake in what was going on with Cartier, because, Famous came to him and was even like, I need help. Crown used to do this for me. He used to give studio time to my landlord, which would help me with my rent because I don't have a job. I'm still, a kid kind of thing. And Lulu was like, yeah, no problem. Okay, we'll figure it out. And then Cartier had to step in and be like, no, that's not happening. We don't do charity. And because I don't, now you don't, Lulu. And it was getting too much. Cartier was just in there too much. He even said, you're supposed to be a silent partner.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, well, that's kind of over. So, Lulu being there for Raq, I do think that was part of it. But he was there for his own needs as well. He needed Cartier out of his music business.
I think everything with Cartier, at least to me, was pretty well constructed. It was a good, shocking end of the episode death that gets us excited for the finale. Mm-hmm. Where I think this episode stumbles a little bit is there's a real pacing problem that's kind of going on this season, where some storylines are moving like this for most of the season, and then there's others that are just fast forwarding everything with Sam, who suddenly came to the realization that, he might have saw Kanan, shooting Detective Howard.
And it's actually, his name is Famous. I was just like, oh my goodness, this is getting so messy.
Yeah, it just, all of this comes out of nowhere, and then all of it feels really rushed in this episode. Sam should have showed up a couple of episodes ago, because all of a sudden, Raq and Marvin, they're orchestrating this plan with Sam that seems to kind of come out of nowhere, and there's all this movement now about trying to stop Detective Burke. It feels like the Burke storyline was so slow, and now it is going 1,000 miles an hour.
if you guys have been here for this whole season, you guys already know how we feel about the Burke storyline. Yeah. It just, like, I that scene I get with her girlfriend where she was kind of like, I understand, you know, you want to prove yourself and whatever, but going after your partner is not going to prove yourself to anyone. No one's going to trust you on the force. No one's going to want to work with you. You're going to dig into your own partner without, you know, talking to him. You've been told to stop. You won't stop. Now you're at the point that you're like, Sam, you're going to be my key witness. And he's like, yeah, I saw this young guy do it. I think his name is Famous. It's just like, you're going to put all your marbles in this, you know, in this bag, and it's the Sam bag. And it seems like, yeah, Sam all of a sudden has become this like hugely important character for Burke. And now, you know, Howard is seeing Burke with Sam. And, you know, we know that Raq has told Marvin, hey, we need to just take out Sam because she knew some stuff was going on with him too. Marvin. Marvin. He really does want to make some changes. And, you know, he had that conversation with Duke eating hamburgers where he was just like, I really want to make some changes. I have been making some changes. I want to do better by you. I want to do better for myself. Like, I've done a lot of bad things, but I've also done some good things, but I don't think they kind of equal out. I think I need to be doing some more good things just for my own, you know, well-being. So I feel good about myself. And, you know, I was kind of worried, not too worried, but a little bit worried that after Renee's death, I think we all saw that coming, that he was going to kind of slide off the rails, but he didn't. He was just like, you know what? I'm taking these lessons that she gave me. I'm going to continue to implement them, and I'm going to continue to try to be on my own path while still being here for Raq. So Raq wants to get rid of Sam. Everybody wants a piece of Sam now.
Yeah.
But instead of actually just taking him out, because Marvin wants to do better, he decides instead that he's going to give Sam this huge bundle of cash and put him on a bus to Atlanta, and was just like, and was very honest with him and said, listen, like, the next time you see me, if you don't get on this bus and leave, basically I'm going to have to kill you. But I'm giving you an opportunity for that not to happen because I'm trying to change. I'm trying to give you a chance. Just take this money and get on this bus. And of course, Sam's like, sure, man, whatever you want. And as soon as he's out of sight, he's like, stop this bus, let me off.
Yeah, it's important to remember here that, you know, not everybody wants to change. Not everybody is capable of changing. You know, Sam clearly...
No, Sam doesn't want to change. No. He's not there.
No, and so Marvin can't try to put his ideology on Sam. I mean, I appreciate Marvin trying to be a bigger person, trying to improve himself. I worry that once he inevitably finds out that Sam did not listen to any of this, that it's going to be a major setback for him.
I think the biggest issue that Marvin ran into in this particular situation is he had this very honest conversation with his daughter saying, you know, I really want to change. I need to make some changes. He's not getting out of the business, and he hasn't said he wants to get out of the business, but he's like, I need to make some changes. He needed to also have this conversation with Raq and just be like, if she's like, oh, you need to take out Sam, then Marvin needed to say, listen, I can't do that. I can do some other things for you, and I'm happy to continue on with other things, but I'm not going to be your shooter anymore. That's not something that I'm okay with right now, at least, or who knows for the future. She has a huge organization of people that could have gone and taken care of that for her, including Lulu. It doesn't have to be Marvin. Marvin can find a way to be part of this organization without doing that. Raq is not going to just kick him out.
The biggest thing I sort of feel coming out of all this is that Burke's for sure going to die. I don't know a situation where that doesn't happen.
She just
this point.
Yeah, she just needs to go. It's just a question of who's going to do it.
And at this point, I think it's a pretty good chance it's going to be Howard, even though I kind of think a lot about it. It's like, would Sam's testimony even be admissible? Because, you know, under the influence, I'm sure like any sort of lawyer is going to try to pick him apart as a witness. Mm-hmm. But I feel like to me, it's pretty obvious that Howard is the person who went to Nicole's dad and told him everything to try to set up Burke, because he knows that Burke is sniffing around in all this. He's not that attached to her. I mean, yeah, they're partners, but they're not exactly BFFs here.
No, Howard's trying to find another way to just get Burke off his back so that he's able to just move forward, just as himself. We've seen that he's been changing, and he's changed a lot this season. And ever since he was shot by Kanan, he's really been like diving into other things about himself. And Burke just won't stop.
No.
I've been feeling like it's going to be Howard that's going to end up having to make that choice to just take her out. Like, I think she's going to die. And, there's only a couple players that's really going to be. I mean, Raq doesn't want to deal with her anymore. Howard really doesn't want to deal with her anymore. I think we could see a situation where some of Howard's good things that he's doing for himself get a bit derailed because he ends up really up against a fence where he's just like, okay, I have to do something to protect my son. Burke won't stop. She's going to, put him in jail or do whatever she's going to do to him. And he is going to make that choice. That's my prediction for this finale. I think he is going to have to kill her.
It wouldn't be a surprise. And it's just like, by the way, I really like that they made Howard a Muslim in this episode. It's like not a lot of representation on that. I thought that was really, really cool.
And I like the way that they did it as well, where he even said, this was something that was part of my past. It was something that I sort of lost touch with. And it's something that I'm trying to get back into for myself. Like, he really has been changing and reaching back into his roots and into his past.
Only other finale prediction I have, the Basellis, they're all going to get wiped off the face of the earth so that we never have to see or hear from any of them ever again.
I really like the way Unique handled the situation, and I expected that he was going to handle it this way. The minute that they were kind of like, hey, you need to give me all this information. I need to know everything that's going on with Raq's, organization, and you can tell me that. I never expected him to be like, okay, let me just lay it all out for you. There's no way. I mean, he's just not that guy. So to hear him say, no, it's not going to happen. Oh, well, no one will know. Yeah, well, I'll know. And that's not who I am. Unique is very true to himself. Yes. And what he wants for himself. And he just doesn't care. He needs to stay on his own path to be true to himself. And I was really happy to see that happen.
Well, we'll see exactly where Unique and everyone else goes next week.
Yeah, especially Famous. Like, what is going... We were 12 minutes in. We haven't spoken about Famous and this decision that he made. He's getting very desperate. He's borrowed Corinne's mom's gun. He's gone over to Freddie's place. He pulled out the gun to try to rob him to get money for his rent. Freddie's like, I know who you are, Famous. Like, I can hear your voice. We've spoken enough. I know who you are. He also pulls out a gun, and Famous has now shot Freddie. Is Freddie dead? I don't know. I think so, but we saw that little crack of a door open, so someone has seen something. And it's just Famous. I feel so bad for him. He's really gone through a lot. He's a good kid, and it's just, he's in such a bad situation, and it's just such a tough situation because he is so young without any real help that he just doesn't know where to go with this. And now he's done this. Like, this is something he can't come back from.
No, there's zero way. And it's the kind of the recurring theme of this show where Famous, Kanan, Jukebox, these just like good kids, really bad things happen to them. How do they recover?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully there's better news on the horizon. We shall see, but hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of our coverage. Thank you for watching. We'll see you here next time.